Dealing with the question and answer session after your conference talk can be a really stressful experience, but it doesn't have to be. You can learn how to give a good question and answer session before it comes along so you can wow and dazzle everybody in the room and do it with a lot of grace. First things that's really important and not many researchers do when they give talks is making sure the question is clear. So when somebody asks you a question, they usually aren't wearing a microphone, they might be in the back of the room, they might not be projecting their voice very well. So what you need to do is take your microphone and repeat the question so that A, they are sure that you understood their question, B, everybody else has heard it as well, and it's on a recording if the talk is being recorded. Otherwise, people will be listening to you answer a question and have no idea what it is. But also C, repeating a question gives you some time to prepare yourself for answering it very well. What a lot of people don't know how to do in talks and Q&A sessions is how to use a microphone. So before the talk, ask your session chair if you can practice a little bit. Or, take a hairbrush at home. A microphone will work if you hold it like this. But if you turn your head and talk toward your slide like that, and Mike's here, it's gonna be a very bad experience for everybody who's listening to you. So these are things that you need to practice. There's also ways to project your words onto your screen. For example, if you're using Google Slides, there's a very simple captions setting that will use the voice audio that you speak into your microphone and project it on your slides in the bottom like subtitles. That will make a lot of people's lives easier and also be very inclusive toward those who have hearing disabilities. You should consider it. But after you've repeated the question, everybody's heard it, you had some time to prepare. How do you answer it? There's a couple of things to consider here. First of all, you know that a question and answer session is only lasting a couple of minutes for most conference talks. Afterwards, there's another session, and you have a time frame within which you have to answer it. So, an easy way to make this experience comfortable for both your audience and yourself is to have a couple of extra slides at the end of your presentation. But there aren't these extra slides with, aha, this is the answer that you were looking for, and I have it here, look how smart I am. But they're here to help you so you don't have to scroll back 30 slides to find the one that you need. Have a big slide with all the important graphs, or maybe 2 or 3, so that you can just go through them very quickly and the audience doesn't wait for you and you don't get additionally nervous. It's all right there, easy to reach. And another thing to do is consider that some questions might not be appropriate for a short question and answer session. So as you repeat them, you might notice the person who asked you nod or try to say more, but honestly, you're the boss here. If you think that this question would take 5 minutes of you answering it, it's okay if you say, this is a big topic. I would love to share the answer with you, but we have other people in the room. Maybe they want to ask some other questions. Would you like to meet up after the session? And I'd love to discuss this with you later. This is completely polite and perfectly okay. What's also okay is if you don't know the answer. None of us are perfect. In fact, you're at a conference to teach people, and you're also there to learn. So if you say, I haven't heard about this before, but it sounds very interesting. Would you mind catching up after the session? And I'd love to talk to you about it. I really would want to learn more. That's okay as well. A thing that a lot of people are afraid of when it comes to question and answer session is not questions they might not be able to answer, but no questions. Because what does that mean? Nobody was interested? It doesn't. Not in most cases. But what most session chairs will do in those cases, when there's no questions from the audience, they will ask their own questions. So if you really genuinely are getting quite nervous about this, talk to your session chair. See about their background, see what they're interested in. Maybe you can even ask them, if they're friendly, what kind of questions do they plan on asking you, so you can prepare a little bit before the talk itself. This is completely fine. And we all go through these stressful situations, and we're all trying to make sure that we do the best job possible. But the whole point of a question and answer session is to connect with your audience. You give a talk, people listen to it, but they don't interact with you. And at this moment of a question and answer session, this is when you should really enjoy the fruits of your labor, because you'll get to explain what you did in much more detail.